My hook size is 3.5 millimeter, and I start with a magic ring. Put my hook right there, and then I grab the yarn. I pull through. I have a loop right there, and then I grab the yarn and pull through that loop. And now I go into the ring like this, grab the yarn, pull through 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through. I have a single crochet, and then I chain 1, and I have my first double crochet. Now I go with 11 more double crochet into the ring. Pull through 2 loops, and now the last 2 loops. Again, yarn over, I go to the ring, and I make the double crochet, and I do like this until I have 12 of them. And now I close my magic ring, and I will go not in the first double crochet. I go right here on this loop where is my second double crochet, and make a slip stitch. Now I chain 1, and I go in the same space where I make the slip stitch, grab the yarn, pull through a loop, 2 loops. Now I grab the yarn, pull through the 2 loops, and I have a single crochet, and now I make a chain to have a double crochet. Now I go to the next stitch with a double crochet, and here I chain 2, and I go back in the same space with another double crochet. I yarn over, and I move to the next stitch with a double crochet, and a double crochet to the next stitch. And now I close my magic ring, and I will go not in the first double crochet. I go right here on this loop where is my second double crochet, and make a slip stitch. Now I chain 1, and I go in the same space where I make the slip stitch, grab the yarn, pull through a loop, 2 loops. Now I grab the yarn, pull through the 2 loops, and I have a single crochet, and now I make a chain to have a double crochet. Now I go to the next stitch with a double crochet, and here I chain 2, and I go back in the same space with another double crochet. I yarn over, and I move to the next stitch with a double crochet, and a double crochet to the next stitch, and here I chain 2, I yarn over, and I go back in the same space with another double crochet. Again, to the next stitch I go with a double crochet, and to the next one a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet, and I repeat. And if I count the 2 chain space, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now I go right here where is my first double crochet. This is the single crochet and then the chain, and I go on the chain and make a, you see right there I went in both loops, and I make a slip stitch. Now I chain 1 and I go back in the same space, grab the yarn, make a loop, have 2 loops, grab the yarn, make the single crochet, and I chain 1. I go to the next stitch with a double crochet, and then into the 2 chain space I go with a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet. And now I go in each stitch with a double crochet. I yarn over, I move to the next stitch, make a double crochet, and to the next one another double crochet, and into the 2 chain space I go with a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet, and again I go into the next 3 stitches with a double crochet, to the 2 chain space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and I repeat. And now I will count my double crochet from the 2 chain to the next 2 chain space. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I count from this space to this space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now here from the space right there to this one I have 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I need to go on this stitch with a double crochet, and then where is the chain 1, single crochet and chain 1, I go on that in both loops from the chain 1 and make a slip stitch. Again I will chain 1, is in the same way I start the new round. Chain 1, I go back in the space, make a single crochet, and then I chain 1, and then I repeat. I go in the next 2 stitches with double crochet, and then in the 2 chain space a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet, and then into the next 5 stitches double yarn over, go to the first double crochet, make a double crochet to the next stitch, double crochet, and like this in each stitch until I reach my 2 chain space, and to the space I go with a double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet, and again I go to the next 5 stitches with a double crochet, to the 2 chain space, 1 double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet, and I repeat. And again I go and count my double crochet, because I need to have the same amount of double crochet in each 2 chain spaces, between the 2 chain spaces. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here I need to have 7, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I need 2 more right there. So I yarn over, I go to the first double crochet, make a double crochet, and then 1 more to the next stitch, and now I go to the 1 chain space in both loops, and then I make a slip stitch. I chain 1, I go back in the same space and make a single crochet, and then I chain 1. Then into the next 3 stitches I go with a double crochet, into the 2 chain space, I go with a double crochet, I chain 2 and 1 more double crochet into the next 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 stitches. I go with a double crochet into the 2 chain space, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and I repeat. And I will do that until I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 rounds. When I'm at 7 round between the 2 chain space and the next 2 chain space, I'll need to have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 double crochet in each 2 chain spaces. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. And now to finish round 7, because I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 and this is the 7, I will change the color. So I go right here where is the 1 chain, and instead to take the yellow yarn, I will finish that with my white yarn. So grab the white yarn and make the slip stitch right there. And now with my last round, I go with the white yarn, and it's gonna be in the same way. So I made the first double crochet, and now I yarn over and I move to the next stitch. I go like this with my 2 yarns over there, and I go with double crochet in each stitch until I reach the 2 chain space. Now I will just cut the yellow yarn, and I go to the 2 chain space with 1 double crochet, chain 2 and 1 more double crochet. Then again into the next 13 stitches, double crochet. When I'm here, I go with 1 double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet all the way around. And now I will go on the 1 chain in both loops, make a slip stitch, I chain 1 and I cut my yarn. And now I go and make 6 more. In total I need 7 of them. I have all 7 pieces. Now I need to connect them. First I use 6 of them. First I go with 1 in the middle, and then I take another one and I go like this, and like this with another one in this way. Oopsie. And then one right here, another one here, and the last one right there. And now what I do is I will connect everything around the piece in the middle, but I will just take 2 of them and I will keep adding. When I'm right here, I will keep going and adding other pieces. So I have 2 pieces, and now what I do is I go right here where is my 2 chain space. This is the first chain, this is the second one. I will go into the second one, but this loop is front. I go in the back loop of my second chain, and then I go to the back to the second chain from the other piece, that loop. So this is front, that's back. And now I grab the yarn and I pull through my loops right here. And now I go to the next stitch, again the back loop only, and to the next stitch from the other piece, back loop only, grab the yarn and I pull through all 3 loops. Again I move to the next stitch, back loop, to the next stitch, back loop, pull through the 3 loops, and I keep going in each stitch doing what I'm doing here, but back loop in each stitch and then slip stitch. And now right here, where is the 2 chain space, I go into the first chain, back loop, and then first chain to the other side, back loop, and make the slip stitch. Right here I will add 1 more piece. I go into the second chain, back loop only, and then second chain from this piece, back loop only, I grab the yarn and I make a slip stitch, and then I keep going in back loop only at each stitch and make the slip stitches. And then when I'm right here, I will add again another piece and another piece. To the last one, I made the 1 chain and 1 chain for the other side, and then I made a chain and I cut the yarn. And of course I will hide my yarn right there. Now I turn Now I go first on this piece and I see I have the 2 chain right here and 2 chain right here. What I do is I take the 2 chain and put them to the 2 chains right there, and then I have the 2 chains with the other 2 chains right there, and here the 2 chains with 2 chains like this, and I have 1, 2 and 3. I can see the holes. There are 3 of them. Now I move to the next one. I have the holes right here and the 2 chains right there, so I go right there, and then the holes from here to there and here, and again I have 1, 2 and 3 and a straight line right here. I'm sorry that I cannot show better what I'm doing. I only have like a really small table and round, and it's weird. Okay, so I have the line right here. Now on this side I go like this, only 2 of them, so this is the bottom part, and I move to the other side and I go first on this side, so I go with the 2, or I just go like it here, it's easier. So this one I take this part and I go right there, and then I have this with that one and this one with the other one, so I have the 3 of them. It look the same. And now this is easier, I just take this one and I put it right there, and I have the 3 of them, and it's a straight line, Maybe I'll show you like this. And now I add the other piece in the middle. I connect them in the same way how I connect the other side. I'm almost done with this piece as well. I just want to show you exactly how I close right here. So this is the last stitch. I go in the back loop and the last stitch from the other side and make the slip stitch. And then I go to the first chain, and first chain from the other side. I already cut my yarn, so, and I pull through, and now I just make a chain, and I will hide my yarn right there. Okay, now I need to go and connect this piece, this piece, this one, that one, this one, and that one. For this part is easy. I will show you, but I will just want to tell you how I do right here. I will go in the chain, and then I'll keep going, and right here I go to the chain, the first chain, and I will not go in this way. What I will do, I will continue in this way, and then I cut the yarn. And then with a different yarn, I go in the chains, and then I go right there and then cut the yarn. And I'll do the same to the other side. But now let me show you what I do right here. I go and find the first chain from this side and first chain from the other side. Back loop only. Then I grab my yarn and I pull through. Then I go to the next chain, the second one, and then second from the other side, back loop only, and make the slip stitch. And then back loop to the stitch, back loop to the other stitch, and slip stitch, and I keep going. Okay, I did it until in right here. So here I'm the first chain. I go with my hook right there, and then to the other chain from the other side, and I make a slip stitch. Now I go to the second chain, and second chain from the other side is gonna be a little bit hard, but it's gonna look really nice. And now I grab the yarn and I just pull through, and here I make a chain, and then I will cut my yarn, and in this way I'll do to the other ones. I decided to show you, maybe it's gonna be easier than just telling you how I do it. Now I go in the last stitch, back loop, and the last stitch from the other side, and make the slip stitch. And then I go to the first chain from this side and first chain from the other side, and make a slip stitch. Now I go to the second chain, but this time I go right here, where is the two chains from this side, and I go to the second chain and make the slip stitch. And then I keep going into the stitches with slip stitch. Okay, so the back looks like this, and now I go and work on the handles. So we're almost done. I know this tutorial is a little bit longer, but I want to show you everything I'm doing. Okay, so I'll do like this with this part, so this one. between these 2 chain and these 2 chains. So I will count 8 stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Right there I will go with my hook, but first I make a chain, and again 2 4 6 8. I go with my hook right there, grab the yarn, and now I have 2 chains and make the single crochet. And now I make the single crochet into the next 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 stitches, and I take the yarn with me, make single crochet in the next 7 stitches, okay. And now where is the 2 chain space, I go with a single crochet. I have the single crochet right here, and now I go and chain 37. And I go right here where is the 2 chain space with a single crochet. And then into the next 15 stitches I go with a single crochet. And right here I go with a single crochet, and then again I will chain the 37. And now I go with a single crochet in the 2 chain space, and then single crochet in the next 7 stitches. And now I go into the first single crochet and I make a slip stitch. I chain 1 and I go back in the same stitch with my first single crochet, and then into the next 7 stitches 1 single crochet, and then into the last one, which is right here, or is the 2 chain space, I go and make a half double crochet. And then in each chain I go with a double crochet. And now I go with a half double crochet on this stitch, and then single crochet, and on this stitch I go with a half double crochet, and then double crochet in each chain. And then on this stitch I go with a half double crochet and then single crochet, and I go with a slip stitch right on this stitch where is my first single crochet. Slip stitch, chain 1, I go back in the same space with a single crochet, and what I do on this row I repeat one more time the previous row. And now I'll go in the first stitch and I go with my white yarn. This is gonna be the last round row. I chain 1, I yarn over and I go back in the same space and I make a double crochet, and then I go in each stitch with a double crochet. And the back looks like this. And I was thinking of something to make a giveaway with all my crochet bags. So what I'm asking is, let me know in the comment below if I should do that or not. Thank you.